Next, let's create 3 enemies with different combat strength levels. Click Creation Prefabs. Find Hilichurl in the Hilichurls section under Creations. Find Large Hydro Slime in Elemental Lifeforms, and find Ruin Grater in Automatons. These will be our enemies. Set the faction of these 3 enemies to Initial Creation Faction. Open the Faction section in Stage Settings. Click Faction Relations in Initial Creation Faction. Set the relationship between the Initial Creation Faction and the Initial Player Faction to Hostile. Set the relationship between the Initial Creation Faction and Initial Object Faction to Friendly. Click on Large Hydro Slime and change the level in its basic battle attributes to 20. Click on Ruin Grater and change the level in its basic battle attributes to 40. Save the prefabs, and now the 3 enemies are done. Next, let's implement the effect where defeating a Hilichurl raises the stage level to 40. Open Miliastra Sandbox. Right-click and select Create Node Graph. Rename the node graph to Level Up to 40. When an entity is destroyed, check if the event source GUID matches the Hilichurl's GUID. If they match, raise the player's stage level to 40. The player entity needs to be obtained using the Get Player Entity to which the character belongs node. Place the Hilichurl in the object placement screen and get its GUID. Save the node graph and mount it on the stage entity. Click Test Play to check this effect.
Yeah!
Next, let's create the effect where defeating the Large Hydro Slime raises the stage level to 90. Open Miliastra Sandbox. Right-click and select Create Node Graph. Rename the node graph to Level Up to 90. When an entity is destroyed, check if the event source GUID matches the Large Hydro Slime's GUID. If they match, raise the player's stage to 90. The player entity needs to be obtained using the Get Player Entity to which the character belongs node. Place the Large Hydro Slime in the object placement screen and get its GUID. Save the node graph, then mount it on stage entity. As the player needs to get to level 40 before they can defeat the Large Hydro Slime, we will set the level of the Swordsman class to 40 for testing. Click Test Play to check the effect. Next, we need to create a chest for storing the key later. Find Precious Chest in the Gameplay Mechanism section. Add a tab component to it. Click Advanced Editing. Change the tab icon. Rename the tab to Open Chest. Click Trigger Option Area. Change the center Y-axis value to 1. Change all zoom multiplier values to 2. Find VFX playing in the component page and click on Advanced Editing. Under VFX Asset Type, select Looping Effects. Click Add VFX and select Lock Pattern. Disable Initially Effective under the Chests tab. Save the prefab and name it Chest. And that's it! You've created a chest. Next, let's create the effect where defeating the Ruin Grater unseals the precious chest. Open Miliastra Sandbox. Right-click and select Create Node Graph. Rename the node graph to Unseal Treasure Chest. When an entity disappears, check if the event source GUID matches the Ruin Grader's GUID. To lift the chest's seal effect, play the unlock effect, and activate the chest's tab. Place the chest and Ruin Grader in the object placement screen and get their GUIDs. Save the node graph and mount it on the stage entity. Return to Miliastra Sandbox. Right-click and select Create Node Graph. Rename the node graph to Open Treasure Chest. When the tab is selected, set the chest to open, then close the chest's tab. Save the node graph, mount it on the chest, and overwrite to save the prefab. Since defeating the Ruin Grader requires stage level 90, we'll set the Swordsman class stage level to 90 for testing. Click Test Play to check the effect. At this point, we've completed all monster-related functions. After testing, set the Swordsman class stage back to 1.